everything that we perceive in this solar system is actually on the outside edge of light. So we have no other chance to perceive light in the way that we perceive it right now. But you can basically open up light. And inside of light, there's a whole new dimension. So light is actually on the outside perceivable through our, our eyes and lens, but it's also, you can dive into light and you can open it up. So it's basically like looking onto the surface of the ocean and then diving into it. And you got to see that there's a whole universe of different life forms in the ocean, actually.
I don't quite understand what you mean by opening up light. Maybe nobody does, but so if I see a light or light beam, you're saying there's like a universe inside that light?
Yeah, so basically light has this interesting duality where it also appears well in waveforms, but also in particles, which is, this kind of famous physical parameter that comes with light. Yeah. But that also means that light actually works as a dimension. So basically everything that we as humans see is only the outside surface, the particle side of everything. Naturally, we don't have an opportunity to dive into light because our bodies do not have the, the receivers, the organs in order to perceive that. But there's a whole new dimension if you open up light. And this was one of the things that they were actually conducting. They were opening up the wavelength of light. And what you could see, or what I saw, is that there are certain little figures that are inside of this dimension of light. And the interesting thing, because I know you know Linda, and she gave me one of her books, and one of her contactees actually had a drawing, and it was the first time that I ever saw these beings again. And they are actually living inside the light, whereas we as humans, or humans in general, are outside of light. We are on the edge of the material light system.
It sort of reminds me of Immanuel Kant's theories, about the phenomena and the noumena. The phenomena is what we experience, and then there's underneath there's the essence of
yes.
that. We can say.
Yeah, I think the really interesting thing to me is actually that the universe is, we all know that it's actually just focused on one point, and we have, through certain partitions, or through certain borders, illusionary borders, we are building this depth, this illusionary depth between us and other realms of existence that are very, very true.
Went into the light. You went and actually journey or saw in. Did you actually physically go into the lights?
No. So what they did was actually they open up the wavelengths of light, which is actually bringing the information that is inside of the wavelengths into the particle state, so that it can be perceived through our organs. So basically what I saw, in order to make this, as vividly as possible, is you're standing inside of this laboratory, and they were using this machine, and shooting something or using some kind of impulse. And what you see is this weird kind of portal, with glowing yellow outer, like this corona or something, that opens up, and it feels like like a tunnel or something even. And inside of that, you had these figures that seemed to be standing on their side, but they were moving and wobbling around through this particular field that we were seeing.
What did those figures look like? Were they humanoid or semi-human? No.
No, so it's again, Lina has this interesting painting or drawing of them in her book, and I also made a drawing. I had this wonderful moment with her when I, handed her my drawing, and she looked at the book and she was like, "Wow!" So if you want to describe them, they are actually gray-skinned. This is the reason why Linda said they are the grays. But the reality is that there are, lots and lots of different species out there that have gray skin. And the grays that we're talking about as grays, they're not always gray. So they exist in different other colors too. But these beings actually, they have this, roundish head, very long, slender arms, grayish skin. And it seems particularly important to them because they were showing themselves with these white robes. And inside of Linda's book, they were also wearing these white robes. But in my case, they were wearing a red cross on their chest. And it seemed to be very important to them to show actually their involvement with this Templar cross that they were showing on their chest, actually, which was kind of the reason why I got called into this experiment, because at that time I was involved with certain studies about the situation of the Templars. Nothing spectacular, actually.
Did you see that because of your orientation and they projected that to you? Or was that an actual reality? Or maybe it's hard to know the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm no. So it's a projection of a conversion of reality. So as I said, there are realms in this universe that are not perceivable through the organs and the situation and physical, physical parameters that we bring along. These dimensions still exist, but it's not possible to perceive them. So it's like a translation into seeable, perceivable light, actually. Let me bring it down to a example. So if you dive very, very deeply into the ocean, you come to a point where there's no perceivable light for humans anymore. So if you're down in total pitch darkness, you won't see anything, but still there are beings around you. So you need something to translate the information that is around you into perceivable status, which is you use, for example, an external light or something, and you just eliminate the scene underwater, and then you can see what's happening there. So basically everything that we perceive, we only perceive this on the material matter side of light. And this is the reason why we have, Einstein said, like, there's nothing faster than light. There are things faster than light, but they are outside of the perceivable spectrum and the livable spectrum of light. So while we're inside of the solar system, we cannot perceive things that are outside from that. So what they did is actually opening up this space, opening up this wavelengths, and then you can see that while we think this is like the end of the perceivable reality, you can actually dive into light.
So are all the ETs coming from inside that light space, or just certain beings?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. So basically what we found out is that there's a certain space of commonality where we share the same realities, but there are also layers inside of the universe, immense amounts of layers in the universe that inhabit very exotic forms of life that are so exotic and so alien that we cannot perceive them, and there's no commonality where we share the same experienceable space.